Well, hello everybody. Long time no see. Hope you can hear me okay. Just getting everything going. It has been a little while since I did these videos, and more the question is coming up. Am I going to drive a truck again? How's my health? What is my future plans? Things like that. So I figured in this video we would cover those topics. Also, some of the channel members have been asking when I'm going to put out another video talking about a trucking company. And I'm actually working on that right now. I'm trying to decide what company to do. So if there's a company that you're curious about, you'd like me to check out and put on the channel member page, then definitely let me know and I will take a look at that as well. Big question came up. Why do I put those type of videos under a channel member status? And there's actually several reasons for it. But I would say that for the most part, I have a little more freedom and liberty when I do it in a member only status. And I'm not as strictly regulated by YouTube as what I am in an open video. So that's why. And I know it's frustrating to some of you that want to see those videos and you're not a member. It's $5 a month, and I would encourage you to consider doing that when I put out a video on that platform that is of interest to you. So before we go any further, let me say hello to our channel members since we just mentioned them. We only have 6, so it doesn't take long now. We've got the very first one, Ramon. We got Robbie Ross, Corey Oatley, Oaser DM, KC, and Adam. So appreciate y'all sticking with me. Quite honestly, um, they haven't got a lot of additional content here lately. Just I've been so busy, and we're going to talk about that today. I've had several doctor's appointments. I'm going to let you know how those have gone, and then I'm going to talk about where I'm headed, and then I'll circle around, get to your comments as well. I may space it out a little bit and talk about something, get a few comments, then talk about something. I just want to make sure that I get everything covered. I should have took some notes so that I make sure we get to all the topics. So it's no secret. I put a video out about this already that I went to the neurologist, and the neurologist said that he felt really good about my progress. I've got to go back to him on September 9th. And if he signs off on it, I could have a medical card in my hand as soon as September 14th. Now, the bigger question is, am I going to drive again? And I think that there's a lot to unpack there. I was talking to a trucking business owner this week, and he said, "Well, you know, Todd, where did you make more money?" Well, without a doubt, that's a simple question and a simple answer. I made more money trucking than I did doing anything else, and so without a doubt, trucking is at times, and you guys know about the breakdowns, all that. There's times that I made a lot less trucking, but overall, sorry, I have to talk a lot at my job, and it makes my voice weak even on the weekends. But without a doubt, I made more in trucking than I did anywhere else. Now, the economy has gone down quite a bit from when I was trucking. Things are a lot different, and so a lot of people are saying, "Well, Todd, it's terrible out here. Stay off the road. Stay home. It's bad." And then I've got other guys saying, "No, Todd, it's back to great again." The problem is the people that are telling me it's great either want me to drive for them or they want to recruit me to work for their company so they can get a recruiting bonus. You guys know that I'm not going to rely on anybody's information for what I should do or shouldn't do. I'm going to I'm going to make my own decisions when that time comes. And there's other considerations there. It's not all just about the money. Um, I've got some changes in my family lately, both with kids and grandkids and extended family. And so I've got to weigh those things in there too, and where I could be most beneficial. Sometimes me being here has been a big benefit. Sometimes me having the income that trucking provided might have been a better benefit. So, um, for that reason, a lot is still in the air. Now, I went and saw my personal doctor, and my health numbers, as far as weight, blood pressure, things like that, was the best that it's been in over 15 years. So, definitely got some positive news when I went to the doctor. And my blood sugar was still a little high. As a matter of fact, my A1C went up quite a bit. I attribute that to work. There's a lot of parties up there, there's a lot of cake. There's a lot of cookies and cupcakes, and quite honestly, I'm going to have to partake less of those things. Also, my wife is excited about me being here, and so we eat a lot more junk food than what I ever did when I was on the truck. But because of all the walking at work, I still lose a lot of weight, and so I got to weigh all those things in there. I got to weigh in health, family, and finances, and make the best decision. And that fourth pillar that I need to think about is the economy. And so I'm going to be watching things between now and let's say the end of the year because I'm eligible in September, but there's nothing that says I have to go back in September. And when I feel like it's just like, let me say it this way. Before, y'all would ask me when I switched companies, well, why'd you switch? Why don't you stay where you're at? Well, if there's a chance to do better, I'm always going to take that chance to do better. And the same is true here. I've got a decent deal now. No, I don't make as much as I did driving a truck. And I don't get to do videos as much as I would like to, and more on that in just a minute. But it's not a terrible deal. And I don't have to deal with trucker inflation. And what I mean by that is inflated prices out on the road. And so even though I make less, I probably spend less as well. So I've got to weigh all that in and make a decision that I feel like is best for me and my family. Now, you guys have heard me say, even from the hospital bed, I'm going to find a way to stay in trucking in some format. And as recently as today, I was in contact with uh, with a trucking company about doing some some work for them, not driving, but some work for them, and we'll see. There is some discussions like that that, quite frankly, go on all the time. You guys, a lot of you have asked me if I still talk to Scott over at SRO. Just spoke with him. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. I don't remember. We had a pretty good conversation on the phone, and basically, the context of the conversation was he wanted to know how my health was, how I felt, and if I would be interested in stepping back into trucking when I was eligible. My answer to him would be, or was, not would be, was, we'll see. I want to be 100%. I don't feel like I'm 100%, but I've definitely made some improvements at work. Now, my team just changed. Well, as a matter of fact, it changes on Monday. But the team I was on had 12 people doing what I was doing, and I was number one for the last 3 weeks by a pretty large margin. And so I'm doing well at my job, and so my first commission check will come. I have got some bonuses already, but my first full-fledged commission check where the real money kicks in will be in the first week or two of September. And so at that time, I'll be able to kind of weigh apples to apples and at least answer the financial question of it. Health, I feel like I'm getting better every day. I'm definitely mentally getting better because I'm not stuttering as much as you might see, and I'm doing good at work, so that's a good sign. But we'll just have to see how family and finances and everything else plays out, and then I'll make a decision. And I'm going to be eyeballing the economy. I'm going to be looking for good feedback from you guys, and then I'll make a decision at some point about that. And so, yeah, that's what I'll say about that for now. If y'all got any questions, throw them up, and I'm sure some of your questions and comments will inspire me to say more. One more thing I want to say about it before I jump into the comments is I didn't do any videos last week, but the week before I had 5 videos come out. And one of them was talking about trucking software that was free to download, and only like 5 or 6 of you downloaded it. And that blew my mind away because why would you not want to make more money? Why would you not want to be more successful? And normally I would say, well, it's finances, Todd. You got to buy software. People don't have the money right now. But this was free software, and people were just not downloading it like I thought they would, which tells me they don't care about their numbers. Now, there's 2 times people don't care about their numbers: when they're making the most money they've ever made, or when they're making the least amount of money they've ever made. And so um, I'm going to be watching that closely. Obviously, uh, I'm going to be nervous about getting back into trucking if I don't see the downloads go up there, because it's going to tell me that people are not concerned about their numbers. Either they're killing it or they're starving to death out here. So I'm going to put a link down in the comments, and it's also on my website, truckertodd.net. Y'all go in there and download that software and plug your numbers in. Also, you guys that are company drivers now, but you're considering doing lease purchase, plug in your numbers that you drive every week, and the plug in the rate of pay and everything that your company's offering through lease purchase, the truck payment, the insurance payments, all that, and see if it makes sense for you. Now, if you're switching companies, then you're going to have to kind of guess on what your numbers will be as far as mileage and things like that. But if you're working at, Creed or Swift or Knight or somebody like that, plug your numbers in, how many miles you've been running, and see. Even Prime, if you're a company driver there, plug your numbers in and see if you'd do better in a lease purchase, or you're better staying a company driver. I'm going to tell you, and this will shock a lot of you, if it looks like your numbers are about the same, go ahead and stay a company driver. Don't take on all that risk and responsibility and stress if there's not going to be a clear benefit to it. However, I'd also say don't do it specifically for money, because there's definitely a chance you could lose money. So Scott told me that the truck I had, the Freightliner, is still available for me. He's driven it a few weeks here and there to keep it fresh, and so that's something I would definitely look at, as well as other options. But like I said, as recently today, I've been talking to some trucking companies about non-driving opportunities, and I'm trying to get a channel member video put together, possibly to release to tomorrow if I can get it edited. And so if there's companies that y'all are interested in, I'm sure I'll see them in the comments here shortly, and we'll discuss everything. All right, let's get in. The very first in here today was my good friend Gary Cook. He says, I'm listening from home, getting my advanced trucking truck cleaned out, getting ready to turn it back into the company and move on. Um, Man, that surprises me. Advanced Trucking out of Indianapolis is one of those companies that I'd heard a lot of good things about previously. Gary, what's going on over there? What's changed to where it's not a good place now? And are you comfortable saying where you're going next or what you're doing next? Terry B says it's in your blood. Sorta. I've There's things I really, really like about trucking. I like traveling the country. I like meeting all of you out there. That kind of thing's a lot of fun. I like the challenge of it, but I also like being home every day, and I like having relationships outside of trucking. And so there's pros and cons to both sides, and I'm really torn about what I should do. Adam says, here from the house. And another thing I would add to that about it's in my blood is I'm also able to regularly attend church. Now, I didn't go this morning. I had kind of a rough morning. We were up late last night, and so I didn't go this morning, but typically I go. If my wife's off on Sundays, we'll go out to eat afterwards. If she's not, then I'll usually do that, or I'll come home and eat something here. But yeah, it's been fun. That's been something I hadn't been able to do in years. Now, trucking, as you know, there's a million different opportunities. You can do anything you want. You also know that when I was running the spot market, I was home quite a bit. I developed relationships with brokers to where I was still able to make my revenue, but pass through the house a lot. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. My situation's a little different than most people in that I'm able to do some things that a lot of people aren't just because of my experience. But definitely, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I don't enjoy driving. But I've also discovered during this recovery period that there's some other things that I enjoy outside of trucking equally. And the key is going to be just to find that balance. And that's what I'm working on right now. Um, Honestly, Monday through Friday, I'm working, and when I get off, I've got an hour or two with my wife. It's go to bed. The next morning, I sleep. I sleep. I got an hour or two with her, and then she's off to work. And so, it's really made my time crowded. If those of you that's tried to call me, usually I have to call you back from my breaks at work and talk to you during that time. All I can tell you is just leave a voicemail. Be patient with me, and I'll call you back as quick as I can. As you guys know, I run a dual SIM on my phone, so I've got two phone numbers going to one phone. And if you call me and it goes straight to voicemail, I'm usually on the other line, which is the family line. And so that's why it's so important for you to leave a voicemail. Because if you just hang up, I don't know you called. But if you'll leave me a voicemail, even a short one, hey, this is, Joe or whoever you are, then I'll call you back as quick as I can. And same thing for family that might be watching. If you call and it goes straight to voicemail, just leave me a message. I'll call you back. Oftentimes, I'm on the other line talking to somebody that's been waiting a really long time to talk to me. Adam says he's here from the house. Good to have you, sir. Adam's another one of those that he's been real loyal to me, even though he's no longer a truck driver. He or not a full-time one anyway. He works on a farm now. He's stuck with me, and I really appreciate his loyalty and sticking with me. Hello, sir. Hope all is well. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm starting to feel better about things. I got a little discouraged because I didn't see myself progressing as fast as I thought I should be. But I feel that I'm probably, before I was saying 70 to 80%, I'm probably 80 to 85% now, maybe even 90. So I've definitely turned a corner and definitely getting a lot better. It's just, man, there's still some things that, and my wife brought this up the other day. If I drop something small on the ground, like a toothpick or a small screw or something, my there I go stuttering. My motor skills still aren't back to the point where I can pick that stuff up normally, things like that. So we've still got some more doctor visits to do. I've got a cardiologist appointment on October 3rd. It's not going to have any bearing on if I come back to trucking or not, but the neurologist definitely will. And he was real pleased with my progress. He was like, I would sign you off to go drive right now if DOT would let you. But ultimately, the decision's not going to come down to some doctor. It's going to be like when I feel like I'm 100% and I feel like I could do it. And then it's going to be if I want to, and that's going to come down to family, financial, and all those other things we talked about a few minutes ago. Gary Cook says, Hope all is well. Yes, sir. Thank you for being here. Red Raider Reload, and it's been a while since I've made a live show. Hope everyone is doing well. Yes, sir. Glad to have you. I recently talked to Red Raider on the phone. It was good to hear from him again. And Red Raider has the same question I do. He wants to know where Gary Cook is moving to now. Gary Cook says he's headed to light trucking. So um, the guy at SRO Logistics that I'm recommending is pretty good friends with the gang over there, and I know some of the people over there as well, and they are a good outfit. I think you'll be really happy over there. Racing Ray 28. Hello, Todd. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Racing Ray. Thank you for being here. Davenport family says he's not been in here in a while. Yes, sir. I'm glad to have you back. I used to tell, uh, and I don't know if he's in here right now. I used to tell Fly Rabbit back in the day. I said if I quit trucking, 2 weeks later nobody would remember my name, and to a large extent I felt that way, and it's been somewhat true. I've lost a lot of viewers. We don't pull the kind of numbers we used to pull. My YouTube checks are a fraction of what they used to be. The phone doesn't ring near as much as it did before, but there has been some people, and I hesitate to call names in here because as soon as I do, I'll leave somebody out. But some of you have stuck with me through thick and thin. You show up for all the videos. Heck, 6 of you are still subscribed as channel members. And so I really appreciate y'all. And I know it's been frustrating at time when physically or mentally I couldn't put out the videos you wanted. Right now I've got a little bit of writer's block. Don't know what y'all want me to talk about, but I know that I definitely need to get some more videos out. And I need to come up with a regular schedule for these lives. And so I'm working on all of that. I need to go back and look at analytics and see what videos and what time slots people could listen. I'm pretty sure it won't be a weekday. I'm probably going to be limited to Saturday or Sunday. But sometimes those can be difficult if I'm going to see grandkids on a weekend that my son has them or something like that. So we're going to find a balance. I know I've been saying this for a while now, but I really feel the best I've felt since before March 14th. My weight's down. I'm in the 240s now, and I mean the low 240s. And my blood pressure was like 120 over 70 something. So my blood pressure is the best it's been in a long time. I feel pretty good. At work, people are walking up and they're going, man, even since April 29th, when you start here, you look better. You look healthier. You look happier. One guy even stopped me the other day and said, man, you look buff. Have you been working out? And so it's good to get those compliments. It's good to know things are working. Starting today, I switched from Ozempic to Monjaro. My good friend Chris, that comes in here sometimes, he was on Monjaro and lost a ridiculous amount of weight. And for about a year now, he's been telling me, "Oh, you need to get on Monjaro, Monjaro." And I finally talked my doctor into it. And so we'll see how it goes. See if I continue to lose weight and feel better and things like that. And Blue Shadow says, "Hey, buddy. Hello, sir. Thank you for being here." And Ramon, channel member, is here. Good to have you. How are you feeling? My name is Nobody. Gives Like Trucking a thumbs up. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about them, and I don't have any personal experience with them. I know 2 or 3 people that drive there. I know one of their dispatchers. I've never met Jeffrey Like myself. I've never talked to him. Don't know him on that level. But the people I know that work with the company or work at the company always say good things about them. They've got a great reputation. The reason people say, well, then why do you talk about SRO so much? Well, because I did work there and I do have firsthand knowledge with them. But definitely, if I was going back, SRO would be at the top of the list. If for whatever reason Scott said, "Hey, I don't think I want to do this no more," then definitely uh, Like Trucking would be another company on that list. The Right Way to Truck says, "What's up?" Not much, man. Uh, I felt like I needed to get on here and do a video and give you guys an update. I appreciate everybody being patient with me. I haven't been as forthcoming or transparent as I would like to be with the doctor's notes and stuff, and I apologize to every one of you for that. I know there's a lot of you that are praying for me. And so I at least owe you updates and to let you know what's going on. Trucking with the Fly Rabbit and Poppy says, "Good afternoon, Todd. Good afternoon, sir. Uh, Trucking with the Fly Rabbit and Poppy recently started a live show that they're doing several times a week, and it's starting to take off. They're starting to get a lot of views. He's got an SFI truck that he's got leased on to JB Hunt. It's an international, brand new international. So if you're interested in that kind of content, go check them out and see what you think about it. Tell him Trucker Todd sent you in the comments too. That'll help both of us out. And Don says, "Hello, Todd. Hello, sir. Thank you for being here." Gary Cook, some days trucking is good and some days I got you, man. Trucking is bad. Yeah. And I think it's always been that way. You'll have two or three good loads, and then you'll have one where everything goes wrong. You blow two trailer tires. Your load's not ready when you get there. They call and reschedule the delivery. We've all had loads like that. And then we've had loads that we thought were going to be terrible, and they turned out to be pretty good. I had that one. I don't know if y'all remember it. And I hesitate to tell you how many stops it was because if I'm wrong, somebody's going to go back and check the videos and they're going to say I'm exaggerating or I'm making it bigger than it was. But it seemed like it had 12 or 19 or 21 stops or something. And actually, I think it was like 23 stops. And all I was dropping off was one of those little portable coolers like you see at grocery stores with wheels on them. I would drop one off at each location, and I followed a little cargo van and he got out and set it up for him, and then we went to the next stop. And I thought, oh, this is going to be terrible. I never do multi-stop loads. And it actually paid really well and turned out to be a good deal. So that was one of the fun things about trucking that I do miss is it was always an adventure, always something different every day. Red Raider Food Reloading says Leprino Foods will be hiring yard jockeys before too long. From what I hear, that will have a yard big enough for 200 trailers. Might keep that in mind. Leprino is actually one of the companies that I've been in contact with. It's looking like it's going to be probably December or January, possibly even February for that before that is set up and ready uh, for people. But yeah, I've had some discussions with them, and I did it more back when I wasn't sure about this job I was at now. If this job works out, I may just keep doing it. But it'll like I said, it's going to come down to what's best for my health, my family, my finances. I'm going to try to factor all those things in. And then in the comments is the website I showed for the trucker calculator. Y'all go check that out. And Gary Cook says everything is expensive everywhere. Yeah, it is. We went to uh, Walmart last night and just got a few basic things, and it was like $50 or $60. We didn't get hardly anything, and we found a place in Lubbock to get milk that's $2.99 a gallon, but even that's high. And I know at my job recently, prices went up about $10 a person, and at my wife's work at her restaurant, their prices recently went up $2 or $3 a plate. And so, yeah, you're right. Inflation is killing us. Everything is going up, and that's exactly why I'm surprised more people aren't downloading that trucker calculator to see where their money's going, how they can trim the fat per se, and make their business more efficient. But it's definitely hard to save right now. I think a lot of people are burying themselves in credit card debt, and I'll be the first to tell you, I wish I had, 15 or $20,000 credit card for, if I did truck drive and I had a major breakdown that was out of my range, I could, pay that repair bill and then pay the credit card back over 2 or 3 months or whatever. But definitely, if you've got credit, it's a good time to have it, but it's a terrible time to use it. Try to pay cash for everything you can and save your credit. DataPup 1981. You realize we know that's a specific link to you, and you get a kickback on who clicks that link. Yeah, but it doesn't mean nothing because it's a free service. So if I benefit from something that is free for you, what's no harm, no foul, right? Red Raider Reloading says, yes, we know. Yeah, I don't, everybody's always worried about what I get out of the deal. And it doesn't matter if it's trucking or otherwise. I mean, I think we all know I'm making money off of this video. I think we know I make money off the videos. So what? If it doesn't cost you anything and I make a little bit off of it, as I should, because nobody realizes the amount of time and effort that's involved to create content and edit videos and upload them and all that. So if it doesn't cost you anything, I don't see why you'd get your panties in a wad. And even the Amazon affiliate link, if you go to my website and you click on the Amazon affiliate link and you buy something, do I get a kickback from that? Yeah, I get a few cents off each purchase, but it doesn't charge you those few cents. So Amazon ends up eating it. Again, it doesn't cost you anything. So I'm not asking you to do anything that's going to cost you more. As a matter of fact, I usually negotiate discounts to where you get it cheaper. Almost everything that's on my Amazon affiliate link page, there's a coupon when you click on it where you get it anywhere from 10 to 30% cheaper. Same thing with anything else that I've shown on my channel. I've usually negotiated a link on there to where you get a discount. So I don't get it. For me, it's just people looking for a reason to be sour. Here I am trying to give free software, and people are worried that I might get a few cents off of it. Trucks are too expensive here. Advanced controls where I can get the truck fixed. I'm headed over to Light and getting into an international LT. Can't wait. Yeah, that was my problem when I talked to Advanced back in the day. Where I live, the only options they had for me was I could be dispatched by Prime, and Prime would control my home time and everything. I had to stay out 3 weeks at a time, or I had to run the USA Truck Load Board, which has very little west of I-35, and I live about 350 miles west of I-35. So it was going to be a lot of long dead heads home. Hang on a second. This is kind of reassuring. We're getting some trolls today, so maybe there's more people watching than I think. We may have to go back to having moderators again, which that's great. Skyhook Trucker says, hello, Todd and chat. Hey, Skyhook, I'm glad you're here. It means you're getting notifications again. That's great. Red Raider Reloading says it's not the fact you get forgotten, it's that your schedule is not the same, so most don't know when you're going to be available to talk, etc. Yeah, there's probably a lot of truth in that. So normally I get a break around, and these are central times. I get a short break around 2:30. I get a lunch break of an hour around 5:30, and then I get a final short break around 7:45 or so, and then I get off around 9:15, 9:30. So you can call, and like I said, if you leave a voicemail, I'll call you back as quick as I can. And then I've got every Saturday and Sunday off. And so I'm usually trying to do videos on Saturday or see family or grandkids or something like that. But yeah, I get it. it's been a real struggle for everybody involved. It's a struggle for me to give y'all the time and content you want, and it's a struggle for y'all knowing when to call. But if you think back to when I was trucking, it was that way then too. People would call and it'd go to voicemail, and sometimes it'd be 3 or 4 hours before I could call you back. There was a couple of people that it took me a couple of days to get them called back because of the part of the country I was in. The signal was bad, and the calls just stacked up so much. But that's the great thing about the people that watch these videos is that they kind of stick with me in the good and the bad. Like I said, we've lost a lot. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that my channel's performing as well as it did a year ago, but we've still got a lot more people than what a lot of channels would have had if they've gone through what I've gone through. And so I'm grateful for every one of y'all for sure. John Fuller says, "Hi, Todd." Hello, John. Thank you for being here. Levi Weatherly said, "Just got here. Are you coming back?" So I gave a about a 20-minute monologue at the start of the deal, talking about my health and everything, and so I don't want to rehash the whole 20 minutes, but I'll say that right now my health is improving really, really fast, and I've had some changes in my family that do require me to temporarily be here more. Who knows how long that'll go? And my wife enjoys me being here. Financially, I'm taking a pretty big hit, so um, the earliest I could come back is September 14th, and I'm weighing my options both inside a truck and outside of a truck with trucking companies. I was in a discussion with a trucking company today about doing some work for them, not driving, but stuff that I could do right now. Bobby says, typical car salesman story. It's funny you would say that. A good friend of mine called me the other day, and I haven't told anybody where I'm working, but he's convinced I'm back at a car lot selling cars. And I can promise you that I'm not selling cars or involved in the car business in any way at this point. I was working a short time with an auto auction here in Lubbock for a few weeks while I was waiting for this current job to come up. And so I took a temporary deal helping out an auto auction. But I'm not involved in the car business at this point. I just think it's a terrible time. If same thing with trucking, if the economy got better, it might be a great time to sell cars. But the car salesman that I'm talking to right now, they're really struggling. Philip says, I just reached out to you guys. Okay, good deal. Who did you reach out to? Are you talking about SRO Logistics? Are you talking about that software that I just mentioned earlier, or who did you reach out to? What type of job do you do after your stroke? Well, in my case, my stroke, I mean, literally the next day, you can go back and watch my hospital videos. I had all my motor skills back. I was walking, talking, stuttering a little bit. Sometimes I'd forget things, have trouble putting thoughts together, things like that. But basically, I would say that I'm doing sales and retention work right now. So if if somebody calls and they're upset with the company, they talk to me and I make it all better. Kind of similar to what I did in trucking. People would call me and say, I hate my trucking company. And if I had any pull with that company, I'd call the company and try to build a bridge between the two of them and make peace. I do some sales, and right now I'm one of the top salespeople at my company as well. I had, I believe, 3 or 4 sales last week, and they were weighted sales because of the way I sold them. So they counted as 6 sales last week. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. The company that I'm working for has asked me not to say where it's at for fear of well, you can imagine. So all the employees there, as well as the company of themselves, have agreed to help me have a little anonymity while I'm there. And so it's been really nice to go somewhere and be known for something besides being Trucker Todd. Philip says, I have my CDL permit. I reached out to the training. For which company is it? For Swift or who? I haven't worked for Swift for, shoot, I guess close to let me think about that. It's over a year for sure, probably close to 2 years. Gary Cook says, unfortunately, trolls are a part of life. You know, they used to get under my skin. Now I just feel sorry for them. It's a shame they don't have nothing better to do with their time, and it must stink to go through life and be that miserable to where you feel like you got to put grief and chaos in other people's life. But I don't let them get under my skin now. As long as they keep it fairly respectful, I'll let them come in here and have their fun. But if they think they're going to ruin my day or stress me out or something like that, they're definitely wrong. And I will guarantee you that if they could do what I was doing, they'd do it. If they could have a semi-successful YouTube channel, and they could have sponsors and endorsements and things like that, and for every sponsor or endorsement you see, I will guarantee you there's 30 that I turned down. So they're it's just jealous. It's envy because they wish that they could do what I'm doing, and instead of being happy for me or supporting me, they want to try to cause problems, and I just feel sorry for them, honestly. Bobby sounds like a bootlicker. Yeah, and you know, it's probably one person with 50 accounts, and they come under here under a different name every week and try to get under my skin. And it looks like a lot of people, but it's probably just one lonely, miserable person sitting in his mom's basement somewhere with nothing better to do. Don't worry, the NFL will be here soon. Trump 2024 immigrants have taken over trucking, Trucker Todd. Yeah, I'm hearing about that. And, you know, I think it'll work itself out. They just got to hold them to the same standards that we do for it to be fair. They need to have the same cost we have. They need to have the same level of equipment we have to have, and those type of things. And those of you that's ever delivered to a border town know exactly what I'm talking about. They're running deleted trucks. They're running trucks with cab overs that that don't have the same emissions, and that's fine if it's legal in Texas. But you know they're doing it in other states as well where it's not legal. And so the part about not paying them equal, that's going to work itself out over time. But I did see in California, this was been a few weeks ago, that a trucking company there, along with some Mexican truckers, were what do you want to say, striking or um, protesting down in Mexico about trucker rates and things like that. I don't have a problem with anybody wanting to better their life or have more opportunity. We just have to make sure that it's fair, that we're all competing on a level playing field. You can't charge us all these crazy taxes and everything and give them a pass on that stuff. And I believe American workers are hardworking and some of the best in the world, but we have to be on a level playing field. Philip says he reached out to Swift. And here's a guy I ain't seen in a while. Eddie Moon is here. Good to see you again, my friend. Good deal, Philip. He says, yes, I reached out to Swift. Well, let us know how it goes. Your experiences through training and things like that. And who knows, we may bring you on the show at some point and let us know what a first person view of going through training and everything looks like now. Did you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel like like it was a cakewalk. How do you feel about it? So it'd be kind of interesting, especially for a guy like me that's been driving 27 years. Kind of see what it feels like now, and kind of compare it to my own experience back in the day. Eddie Moon says, "You look well." Well, thank you, sir. I'm the lowest I've weighed in over 15 years. I'm in the low 240s, and blood pressure's the best it's been in over 15 years. And I arrive at that date because that's when I started checking things. That's when I found out I was a diabetic. That's when I found out I had sleep apnea, all of that. So uh, that's I'm excited about the health improvements. And my oldest son, that's his concern. If I go back to trucking, he's concerned that my health will decline again. And maybe it will, maybe it won't. Maybe I've learned some lessons, but I've still got about 6 or 8 weeks to evaluate myself and see where I'm at. Kind of like I tell y'all to do when you say you're considering doing a lease or buying a truck. I say you kind of need to evaluate yourself and see what your strengths and weaknesses are. That's kind of what I'm doing right now as well. Indiana just raised the tolls on the toll road. Yeah, I hate to hear that for a lot of reasons. It's right now people are struggling, and even at my work, people call and they're like, "Is there any way you can give me a free month?" They're like, "We just don't have it right now. We're struggling," and I'm not able to do that at my work, and so people are hurting right now. And for Indiana to just increase the prices on the toll roads right now, I'm sure their costs have gone up, but it's just a tough time to live right now, and there's going to have to be something's going to have to get better at some point. And I feel like after the election, regardless of who wins, I feel like it'll be better. But I definitely believe one side will help the economy a lot more than the other side will. I'm going to take a quick drink of water, and then I'll jump back into some more of your questions. Now we'll play a fun little game that I call Irritate the Trolls. Since the trolls seem to be irritated that I make money doing this, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, share this video on your social media platforms, and make sure you're subscribed. What better way to tick off the trolls than to do those things, and you'll help the channel at the same time. All right, I hope I've given you enough time uh, to get some comments in there. Let me read a couple more. Eddie Moon, vitamin D3 and K2 got me back in shape. It worked. We irritated the trolls. Let's check this comment out. So you've been trucking, making all this money, but you lived in a travel trailer. Wow, now you're in a HUD apartment. So almost everything in this statement is wrong, but let's go ahead and address it. I'm not in a HUD apartment. I live in a very nice apartment in Lubbock, in South Lubbock, which is the desired area of Lubbock to live in. And I did live in a travel trailer for 3.5 years. By design, we moved out of a house into a travel trailer. The original goal was just to try something different. At the time, I was making a lot of money. We figured we'd take a lot of trips in it. We ended up not doing that. We parked it and didn't move it, and it became damaged and ended up being totaled. So we got rid of it. But the goal was to live there 2 years and then buy a house. And we liked it so much that we stayed in it 3.5 years. At the end of the 3.5 years, we were ready to go back to a traditional house. And because the other one flooded and was totaled out through insurance, we needed to do something quick. And the plan was to live in this apartment for a year, which I think ends in February or March. And then we'll get a house and go from there. But nice swing and a miss there, Bobby. And I'd also like to talk about the logic behind the travel trailer. When you're an over the road truck driver and you're gone, all but maybe 4 or 5 days a month. A lot of times it makes sense. They take care of your yard. It's easy upkeep. And so it made sense at the time. And it's an adventure that we enjoyed and remembered. Uh, the kids and grandkids thought it was cool. And it's an experience that we can add to our bucket list. It's also, I don't know about now. At the time, it was kind of the end thing to do, as well as tiny homes and things like that are kind of the end thing to do right now. So, yeah, you're not shaming me or embarrassing me at all. If I was ashamed or embarrassed about it, you would have never known. I would have hit it, and I mean, I'd shot videos at other venues and stuff where you didn't know where I live, but I don't have a problem with it at all. I know several people that live that way full time. It can be a way to save money. It can be a very expensive way to live as well. In my opinion, if Red losing the election, I see an uprising coming. Possibly. Red Raider Reloading says, Bobby, some people live a frugal life, unlike most people who live way beyond their means. Yeah, I can talk a little bit about that regarding my work. I had a lady that called me and she said, we got to figure out a way to lower my bill. She said, we're going days without eating. We're doing this, we're doing that, just trying to survive. We're in really bad shape right now. She was crying. And so I looked at her account and I said, all right, we could change these few things right here and you would save $50 a month. Oh, no, I don't want to change nothing. So she would rather go without food several days a week than make any changes in her life. Now, maybe that's where I'm different from Bobby. If I was going without meals, if I was suffering that way, my utilities were getting cut off, my car was getting repossessed, I would be willing to let go of any worldly possessions to keep me and my family safe and healthy and fed and all of that. But some too many people, and I think that Bobby probably falls in this group. They're too worried about what the neighbors think, what the Joneses think, and not about what's best for their situation. I would say that most people, and I mean over 50%, live outside their means and they struggle and stress. And for what? You can't take any of it with you when you die. And a lot of my perspectives about things have changed since the stroke. The one thing about me is I'm never going to pull up at your house and criticize it and go, "Oh man, you live here," or look at your vehicle and go, "Man, I can't believe you drive that." But there are some lowlifes in the world, like Bobby, that will do that. They'll put people down because it makes them feel elevated, and I don't have to do that. I've never asked Bobby to live with me, so he doesn't have to like my life or my lifestyle or what I do or what I don't do. But he chooses to watch every week and put his stupid comments out here, and we're glad to have Bobby here. No Fear Trucking says, "Hey everyone, hey No Fear, thank you for being here." If the Republicans lose the election, I do see a dispute coming. The left has already started their scheming of things. Yeah, I got to be careful what I say here. Maybe that's what my next members only video should be about. But I think we're going to find out at some point that shooter was hired by somebody, and and that there's more to this story than what we've been told so far. Gary Cook, I live with my mother and I'm 52. And that's probably a really honorable thing. Gary's probably taking care of his mom, and so yeah, I don't see the point, and we used to talk about this when I was trucking. I don't see the point in belittling somebody because of where they work or what they drive, uh, or uh, or things like that. If they're happy, leave them alone. It's there's some of you, and we had a guy a minute ago. He said that he's going to like trucking. He's going to get an international. There's a time, I know a guy right now that if he heard that, he would make fun of the International and say that, oh, that's not a good truck. I also know a guy driving a brand new International right now that's as happy as he can be. So I think International's made a lot of improvements to their truck. And whether I would drive one or would not drive one, by the way, I would, is irrelevant to this guy in the International. He's going to be getting good for him. Congratulations. I'm not going to wish him bad or talk down to him because he drives an International. Same thing. Some of you go to mega carriers. I've been at a mega carrier a few times in my life. I'm not going to talk down to you if you go to a mega carrier. You've got your reasons. Like I've told you, pick the worst trucking company you can think of, the very worst. And I'll guarantee you there's a few drivers there that are happy. They live in the right spot. They got the right dispatcher. They got on the right account. They're at the right place at the right time. So even the worst company in the country, there's somebody there that's happy. And that's how we need to get. We need to, you know what's wrong with trucking is everybody's eating their own. We're all sitting around criticizing each other, talking about, well, I'm a reefer, so I'm better than a dry van, or I'm flatbed, so I'm better than everybody, or I do specialized, so I'm better than everybody. Instead of saying, hey, we're all truck drivers, we're all moving stuff from point A to point B. Let's figure out ways to band together and help each other. I mean, I've seen it in truck stops where reefers won't talk to flatbeds, flatbeds won't talk to dry vans. What's the point, y'all? How petty and nitpicky can we be? Red Raider Reloading says I cut off my direct TV to save 300 a month. I'm fixing to cut off Netflix since they donated a significant amount to Kamala. Yeah, so we used to have direct TV stream and we recently cut it and got Hulu TV. It's about half the price of what direct TV stream was costing us. And we're enjoying it just as much. It also includes, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it includes Disney and ESPN with it too, but I haven't messed with the Disney and the ESPN. I usually just watch Hulu live TV, and then I've got some stuff saved in my favorites to watch as well. Red Raider Reloading, some people have to belittle people because they live a very miserable life. Yeah, I think that's definitely the case. And we've all met truck drivers that we knew they weren't real social. They didn't have any family left. They didn't really have any friends. And they were just really lonely, miserable, grumpy people. And I think some of these trolls are like that. I hope that nobody watching this show's like this. I hope that you've got a social structure in place. Even if your social structure is just watching my videos, or if you've got my phone number and you're calling me once a week, I hope everybody's got somebody to talk to because I wouldn't want to sit in a truck, you know, 70 plus hours a week and not have anybody to talk to or anybody to visit in my off time or things like that. Red Raider Reloading, have you seen the mockery the Paris Olympics made of the Lord's Supper? I did not see it, but I heard about it on the news. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. Um, Christianity is the only religion that you can do that to and get away with it. Can you imagine? And I'm not putting down any religion. Can you imagine had they done this to the Muslims or the Buddhists or any of those other religions, Islamic, any of that? No, but you can make fun of things that are very important to Christians, and everybody's like, I don't see what the big deal is. It really bugs me, and I don't want to comment too much on it until I see that video. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll do a video on that instead and put it out for everybody tomorrow. But I don't want to comment too much on it until I get a chance to watch it. But it really bothers me that the liberties that people take at putting down Christianity that we would never try with any other religion. Ted Van Buskirk, I'm here. You doing okay, sir? Yes, sir, I am. It's good to see you again. Give me a call sometime. We talked one day for a little bit, but it was on one of my short breaks, and we'll have to catch up pretty soon. I want to hear how things are going for you. Red Raider reloading, pretty sickening if you ask me. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now that just ticks me off. I like, and I'm not supporting any political parties here, but I like what Trump has said about putting flag burners in jail for a year. It should be illegal to burn the flag, and I realize there's free speech, but at the same time, you can't run into a theater and yell fire. Is the same reason you shouldn't be able to burn flags. It's just wrong, and it's insulting on so many levels. And here we got a political party that is supporting that in large part when we have Benjamin Netanyahu come to Washington. And it again, I may need to make a video about this. I don't want to say too much in here and get myself in trouble. But and depending on what I say in that video, you guys don't realize, like Trucking Answers, for example. If any of you's ever watched him, he does a podcast, and he'll tell you openly on his show that he's able to say more in a podcast than what he can say on YouTube. And the same thing's true for the member channel. I can say more on there than what I can say on here. But I'll make the video. I never script, or almost never script, and we'll see how far off the rails I go and then decide where we want to publish it. Ted says, yes, I will call you tomorrow. Just busy as always. I understand, my friend. Yeah, I'll try to call you too one of these days. I never know what time you go to bed. Um, Maybe I can call you when I get off or on my last break or something. But yeah, we'll have to catch up sometime. There's a bunch of you that I've seen here in the chat tonight that I need to catch up with. So let me see where I'm at. So it looks like I'm caught up on the comments. They're slowing down. So we may hop off here pretty soon. My wife just got home from work a little bit ago. I'm going to run in there and say hi to her. But yeah, I may do a video on that later tonight after I see what all the hubbub is about. I don't watch the Olympics for the most part. If I sit down at the TV and nothing's on, I may watch a few minutes of it, but I don't watch as much of it. It's like everything else. It's becoming too political. You can't just sit down and watch something and enjoy it. You got to put political views into it. And it would be nice to go to a sports event and not have someone's political beliefs shoved down your throat, or to watch a worldwide sporting event like the Olympics and not have someone's religious beliefs shoved down your throat. Oh boy. All right, I'll figure out a way to call you, Ted, if I don't hear from you tomorrow. Uh, all right, folks, I guess that's it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I appreciate everybody being here tonight, and we'll catch you on the next one. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.